Hi, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about High and Wicked's Kentucky Straight Bourbon 104 proof here on the channel. How will it stand up? Find out next. Welcome back. Like I said earlier, we're talking about High and Wicked's Kentucky Straight Bourbon 104 proof. Sorry if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I'm just getting over really bad allergies here in Michigan. So we're going to get into High and Wicked. This one here is a all copper columned and doubler distilled, aged in new white oak barrels, medium toast, and number 4 char, non-chill filtered. The mash bill is 51% corn, 39% rye, and 10% malted barley. It is 5 years old and 104 proof. It is distilled in Kentucky, bottled by High and Wicked in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. I picked this bottle up at that little mom and pop shop that I always talk about. We'll just call it out, Keg and Wine. They're out of Redford. Great store, great individual. Guy even has his own Buffalo Trace picks. So I picked this up for about 80 bucks. It's about 5 years old, 104 proof, and I figured, you know what? I know the Bourbon Junkies did one on the cask strength. I still haven't even found that. I figured, why not? Let's try it out. It's an 80-buck bottle. Is this going to be like a buy a backup? I had a little bit out of it. It wasn't too bad. I've let it sit now for roughly about 2 weeks. Let's get into the nose. Oh, see, it's like if you ever toasted marshmallows and it just gets that light char on it, that light tan, that's what that smells like. There's a little bit of rye spice, a little bit of vanilla. Faint, like a faint berry note, almost like a raspberry that's just getting a little too ripe. The color is light, as you can see, but she does have some legs. Well, skinny legs, but she's got some legs. Like I said, we've talked about the history. We talked about the brewery. We've talked about the juice. Like I always say, what's the juice like inside? Let's get into our first taste. See, that's a very nice light note. Get a little bit of rye spice from the mid palate back. It's really starting to amp up as it goes down. Slight Kentucky hug. You get a light oak, a light vanilla note. Just they're faint. But that 104 proof, it really doesn't drink 104 proof. This drinks more like a 94 proof. It's got a little bit, but man, I tell you what, that flavor really lingers on the back of that tongue. It's got a little bit of pepper, almost like a white peppercorn note on the back end. It's not bad. It's pretty good for the first sip. Let's get into our second taste. See there, I'm getting like a faint tobacco leaf. Like if you've ever, when you smoke a cigar and you clip it for the first time, I don't know if you guys do cold draws or those that smoke cigars. I always do a cold draw and see what I can get off of it. That's what reminds me of that light tobacco note. It's got a little bit of leather and like a baker's chocolate. It's not bad. It's actually really good. It's for $80. You're kind of pushing it up there. I wouldn't pay 80 bucks. This to me drinks more like a $45 bottle. So if you're out at the bars and you see this and you can get it for a $10 or $15 2-ounce pour, a decent pour, what I call 2-finger pour, I would do it. Get it for one more last taste and give you my views on it. Yeah, and that last one, you get the baker's chocolate and equal parts sweet and spicy. But again, it doesn't drink heavy for a 104. It doesn't have almost little to no Kentucky hug. But for $80, I'm looking around. I mean, back in the day, I paid for Remus 5, I paid 80 bucks. I would definitely buy another one. You could buy 3 really good store picks of Buffalo Trace. There's so many more ones. High West, I'm looking at some of the High West bottles I have. I definitely take the double rye or their bourbon. Even the one that I did a review on, the Alina from Mayor Pingree, 5-year-old, that was 50 bucks. That was a savory, delicious. Oh my gosh, that was so good. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's a great video. If you see it in a store, Meijer store, or even a liquor store for $50, it is completely worth every dime. But for this, I would say try before you buy. It's good. It's got a good finish. Its finish is still lingering. But for $80, you're bumping into well above even like your 1920s, 1910 Old Foresters. And those are staples in almost any bourbon budget. For me, that's 1920 is my jam. I love 1920. I'm your host, Brian. Like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle. Because good whiskey, even $80 whiskey, is always meant to be shared. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll talk with you all soon.